Thank you very much for accepting CGTN's interview. Well, first of all, let's talk about the theme of this year's the World Food Day, the right to foods for a better life and better future. So how should we understand that, especially when we're in a world full of conflicts and uncertainties?
The theme, every year we have a theme, and this year's theme is right to foods for a better future and a better life. And I want to point out to two words in it. One is the right and the other is the foods. A right is, of course, as you know, food is the basic necessity after air and water. So it's a fundamental human right, and we take that very seriously. But also right to foods, as you know, we are using the word in plural, which means it's not just about putting food in your belly. It's about nutritious diet, it's about diverse diet, it's about multiple foods. And I think we really, diversity is what we want to emphasize from this, in addition to safety and so on. So that's that. Now, this World Food Day is coming at a very critical time. We have seen over the last few years the growing levels of food insecurity. And this is despite the fact that there is enough food to go around in the world. The conflicts, the disasters which are related to climate change, economic downturns that you see in different parts of the world, growing inequalities, all of these are contributing to this food insecurity and growing hunger levels. And this is really is very concerning for FAO. At FAO, we are taking very, very strong measures to promote awareness about this, but also working with the countries to promote various solutions. Our new strategic framework really talks about 4 betters: better production, better nutrition, better environment, and a better life, leaving no one behind. And that's really what we are working on. So this is an opportunity to promote those ideals.
You mentioned a lot of challenges we're facing. Do you think those challenges have already formed a crisis? Are we in a food crisis?
If we look at our major portfolio of FAO, it is indeed actually coming from the crisis countries. So there are pockets where we can see that the world is moving towards a food crisis situation. But at a global level, as I said, there are sufficient supplies of food. And China is doing actually a major part of contributing to those global food supplies. So from a production perspective, I think at a global level, we are not quite in a crisis situation. But what is needed is, despite there being these food supplies, that we ensure that there's fair distribution, that there is good access, that there is sufficient distribution going around. And I think that's what we need to work towards. And that's why what we are also emphasizing is what we call about food systems transformation. Food systems need to transform. Production is there, but we need to transform the way we distribute food, the way we allow access, etc.
How to strengthen the resilience of food system, because it had some problems, that's what you said.
That's right. Food systems resilience is, it depends upon, first of all, how we produce food and then how we distribute food. Given the earlier factors that I talked about, the conflicts, the climate change, and the amount of food that we need to produce to be able to feed the growing population, it's a very complex web it's a complex web. If you look at our soils, almost a third of our soils are getting degraded because of the pressure that we are putting on land. If you look at water, 70% of the world is actually water, but 97.5% of that is just oceans. This is salt water. We cannot use for irrigation, we cannot use for consumption purposes. So that leaves 2.5%. Out of this, only 1% is the fresh water that's available. 70% of that goes for agriculture. And so there is water stress because of agriculture. Climate change, again, a third of our greenhouse gases are coming from agriculture sector. But we also believe that the most of the solutions will actually come from agriculture sector. And so we have an opportunity to transform our food systems in a way that we can not only contribute towards ecological sustainability, but also social equity and economic efficiency. And that's really what we are looking at.